welcome back to the channel. My name is Pelumi. If it's your first time coming across this channel, you're welcome. On this channel I share sewing, DIY and craft tutorials, so if you're into that kind of content, please consider subscribing. Please subscribe, like this video and share the video with your amazing sewing and craft friends. Okay, I'm sure they will appreciate it. So today's video is going to be like a sewing vlog. I want to sew a asymmetric half circle skirt. Okay, it's gonna be a very simple skirt, a simple half circle skirt, but asymmetric. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the process of how I will achieve that look, and I'm sure it's gonna turn out well, so you can then follow the steps and procedures that I took to make yours as well. So let's just get right into the video. Enjoy. Okay, so what do you need for this project? You need your fabric, and I'll be using this beautiful Holland Tex Ankara print fabric. It is so beautiful. I love the colors. I love the bold floral pattern. And then you also need a little bit of lining. Then you need a little bit of interfacing for the waistband, and then some thread in a matching color, and a zipper, a long zipper. I don't like invisible zippers nowadays, so I prefer these metallic zippers. And then I have this pattern for a pocket, scissors, pins and tailor's chalk, as well as a measuring tape. To make this skirt, I'll be using about 2 meters of fabric, which I have now folded into halves, so that I have a fold on one side and one side is longer than the other side. So basically just fold your fabric in half. So after calculating your waist radius, you're going to take that measurement and mark it on your fabric, starting from any end. So take any tip of the fabric and start marking that measurement down from there, pivoting it around, and starting from the same point and marking it. Just take it all around until it forms like a semicircle. After marking my semicircle, what I like to do, or rather quarter circle, what I like to do is to just take my measuring tape and measure the length of that line to see if it corresponds to half of my waist circumference plus 1 inch for seam allowance. So if it doesn't, you can adjust the measurement from there, but mine seems to be just fine. So next up is to mark the length of the skirt, the short side and the long side. I'm just gonna take the current length of my fabric to serve as the length of my skirt. So the short side is measuring about 20 inches and then the longest side is measuring about 35 inches. So that is the measurement I'm going to use for the long and the short side of my skirt. And then the next thing I'm going to do is from the long side measure 35 inches for about 5 inches away from the edge. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm not going to have a dramatic cut or dramatic slant. I want it to sort of be like 35 inches or a couple more inches towards the front before it tapers down to the shorter side. Just look at what I'm doing so it makes sense. So basically I'm going to measure 35 inches for like a few points, and also on the short side measure 20 inches for a few points, and then just freehand draw the line to meet each other. Okay, so before I cut out the skirt, I'm going to add half an inch seam allowance to the waist radius so that I can have seam allowance to attach the waistband to. So I'm just adding 5 or half an inch around like so. So after cutting out the skirt, I'm going to separate the front from the back by cutting along that fold line. So cutting it open to have two separate pieces, one for the front and one for the back. And then after doing so, I'm going to take one of that piece and fold it in half again and cut along the fold so that I have one full front piece and then two back pieces. So using the cutout from the skirt, I'm going to cut out the waistband pieces. So the height of the waistband is 5 inches because we're going to fold that in half and have half an inch seam allowance, and then we'll be left with 2 inches. So our waistband will be 2 inches tall, and then the width of the waistband will be your waist circumference divided by 2. And then we're going to have two pieces of that, the front and the back. However, when we cut out the back piece, we're going to then divide that into 2. So we're going to have 2 back pieces and 1 front waistband piece, just like the skirt piece. And then using my pocket pattern, I'm going to cut out 4 and then using my pocket pattern, I'm going to cut out 4 pieces of the pocket. The pocket pattern using is from my Tammy dress pattern, but you can easily find a pocket pattern online or you can make one yourself. Okay, so the next thing to cut out will be the skirt lining. I would just like it to have a neat finishing inside, so that's why I'm using a lining fabric. So I'm basically just using the same radius that we used on the main skirt for the lining, and then my skirt length is 15 inches. It's a bit shorter than the shortest side of my skirt. However, for the lining, I am not separating the back from the front. I'm leaving it together as a whole. However, you're gonna have about 1 inch excess on each side because remember we added seam allowance to the main skirt pieces, but that's fine. What I did was I just pleated that seam allowance inside and it was fine. Hi guys, good afternoon. It's another day to sew. So yesterday I cut out the skirt, and today I want to start sewing and joining everything together. So yikes. So yeah, you saw that it was very easy to cut out the skirt. Just need to get your waist radius, the desired length, and really just freehand cut the asymmetricness of the skirt. I really hope it turns out great. But the first thing I want to do to start off is to overlock the edges of my pocket. So all 4 of them, just going to overlock the edges, and then I'm going to iron interfacing on the waistband. So join me and let's do that. Okay, so I'm done ironing my interfacing onto the waistband. Next thing I'm going to do is take the front waistband and place the back waistbands on either side, right sides together, and I'll sew at 1/2 inch seam allowance because that's the amount I left. basically, and we're gonna sew like this. So done sewing up the front and the back waistband, and now I'm gonna press the seam open and then fold the waistband in half this way. Okay. Alright, so moving on, the next thing to do is to sew on the pocket pieces to the skirt. So to do that, I'm marking down 3 inches from the waistband on each skirt piece, so that I have my pockets starting from the same place. So you should then place the pocket pieces on the side seams or the side edge of the skirt, right sides together, starting from that 3-inch point that you marked earlier. So that's what I'm doing for the back pieces, and I'm going to do the same for the front pieces. So just place your pocket pieces right sides together on the skirt side edge, and then we're going to then sew that down with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and afterwards overlock the edge of the skirt. Hi guys, I cannot believe that it is day 3 of the making of this skirt. It is such a simple skirt, but I'm taking my sweet precious time. Yesterday the only thing I did was sew on the pockets. I haven't even sewed the front and the back skirt together. I really want to finish today because there's no reason why it's taking me 3 days to finish a simple skirt. I'm gonna finish the skirt today. So the next thing to do is to place the front skirt and the back skirts together, right sides together, and then sew up the side seams. So let's do that now. So the next thing to do is to sew the waistband onto the lining as well as the main skirt piece, and that is very simple. All you have to do is to take one edge of the waistband or one layer of the waistband and pin that to the main skirt, right sides together, and then sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance all around. And then when you're done with that, take the other end of the waistband and pin it to the interfacing or the lining, right sides together, and sew that, and that will be done. So you're gonna have the main fabric on one side of the waistband and then the lining on the other side of the waistband. Okay, so I have successfully attached my lining to the waistband and the skirt to the waistband, but now I have to hem the lining, and I'm a bit lazy. I don't want to have to change my machine thread, overlocker thread, to white thread, so I'm just gonna use black. Okay, I'm gonna use black and overlock the hem of my lining. So the next thing to do is to install the zipper, and that is also pretty easy. What you need to do is to take the tip of the zipper and place it in the middle of the waistband. So that will be your starting point, and then just pin the zipper along the edge of the center back of the skirt, and then take it to your sewing machine and sew it using your zipper foot. Okay, so to make sure that my zip on the other side aligns with the waistband on the other side of the skirt, I'm just going to mark where the waistband ends on the zipper, so that when I take it to the other side of the skirt, I place it right at that point. Okay, and then just pin and sew as usual. Okay, to finish up the lining on the inside of the skirt, you need to flip over the lining to cover the zipper on the right side, so that the zipper is sandwiched in between the main fabric and the lining. And then you're going to sew on that stitch, that same stitch that you used to attach zipper to the skirt on the lining fabric. I hope that makes sense, but basically you can just watch what I do. Flip your lining over the skirt on the right side and then just sew it down right where you had sewn the zip previously. Okay. So once you're done doing that, you need to close up the center back of the skirt and the lining, and all you need to do is to place the main fabrics together, right sides, and then sew up to the zipper point, and then do the same for the lining. You sew straight down all the way to the zipper point. Okay, so this is the first wear test, and it is perfect on the waist. I love how it fits, and I love that it has pockets. But then I want to cut this part a bit shorter, like let's say 3 inches shorter, and then bring it down some more. Otherwise I love it. And then next thing to do is hem. It's gonna be a simple double fold hem, and then I'm done with my skirt. I love how it looks. Okay, let's hem it. Okay, I'm done with my skirt. It's looking great. It looks great. I love it. Finally done. It didn't take a lot of time actually. Probably like 2 hours today, coupled with let's say 1 hour that I cut 3 days ago, and like the 10 minutes I spent sewing the pockets yesterday. So let me just say it took 3 hours in total, and I love the result. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching the tutorial. So that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it really helpful. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, ask me questions if any step was not clear in the sketch making process, or you just want to ask me any random question. I will respond to you in the comment section. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Share this video, please share the video, spread the word out there. It was a very simple skirt to make. I'm enjoying wearing it as well as I enjoyed making it. So that's it for this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.